Welcome back, everyone. This is Snoo, and we are going to be doing another 100 maps farming session today. A far cry from the last set. This is a more aspirational farming session, and this is a farm that I've been doing for the better part of a week, or maybe more now, aside from that break that I took where I went to Jungle Valley and did some Grand Design altar farming there. This is what I've been doing to make quite a bit of currency lately, and to be fair, some days are better than others. For a while there I wasn't getting really lucky, and this farm definitely depends on being a little bit more on the lucky side, but fate was quite kind to me yesterday, dropping a raw headhunter, getting a divine orb altar resulting in 30 divines, and also getting a crazy good double corruption right before the stream started on the chest, which you can see in the POB. POB link down in the description below. Atlas there too. The filter is insanely strict for today. We are doing Wandering Path. Right here is the Atlas. Already here in front of you. Wandering Path strat. Wandering Path has always been a staple of higher end juicing strategies with magic finding. It makes the maps quite difficult. Can make them quite difficult if you take all of the map modifier effect, and those of you who have done this already know what that's like. Quite a few people run maps like this, especially with Orobots. This is a very good strat to pair with an Orobot, and I do recommend doing winged Scarabs, as a matter of fact, if you're going to do this in a duo with a higher magic find character. My character has about 48% increased quant and 221% increased rarity, rather. Nothing to snuff at, not the most amazing magic find stats. I like to blend player power and magic find together so that I can relatively comfortably solo the content, and I don't have to share my loot that way. But anyway, quite a peculiar Atlas tree in front of you today, because what this is a Strongbox Legion Wandering Path strat. That's not all that strange, because Strongbox right here and Legion both perform quite well on Wandering Path strats. Most league mechanics don't. There are a few outliers like Harvest, Expedition, Strongbox, and Legion, but pretty much everything else has some major issues if you ignore the notables, which we have to ignore in this case. What makes this strat kind of interesting is that I've also gone out of my way to crank up the chance for a few other mechanics to spawn naturally on the map really high. So if you kind of go out of your way and take, like, say, all the breach ones here, most of the abyss ones, and some of the expedition ones, you can see on the right hand side I have an 84% chance, plus 8%, by the way. It's 8% default, so actually 92% chance to spawn an additional breach. I know it says breaches there, but that's kind of misleading. It's just one additional breach. A 64% chance to spawn an additional abyss, and a 64% chance to spawn an additional expedition. And that's quite a bit of extra value, even if I'm not investing into those mechanics. Expedition, Abyss, and Breach still do fine, and with the Breach's recent overhaul, it still performs fine even without Flash Breach nowadays. So Legion and Strongbox are still the focus. Strongbox is going to be there primarily to get Brothers Gifts out of the cemetery, and then Legion is going to be there mostly for kind of all of the above. A lot of league-specific rewards, incubators, emblems, a lot of conversion loot, some major conversion loot. Very likely to see a few divine orbs pop out of a currency conversion, a few winged scarabs to come out. Might even see a headhunter come out, you never know. But yeah, I mean, I did get 2 tier 0 uniques yesterday in a 32 map farming session. Not expecting RNG today like I had yesterday, but who knows? This is 100 maps, so a lot can happen, and it could go up, it could go down. I'll let you know at the end in my final thoughts what I felt about this farm, because I have ran now pretty much hundreds of maps this way. So just kind of recap, definitely going to be moving off to the right, getting a little bit of Breach, Expedition chance, Abyss chance, and then get the strong boxes over here. Can't forget to pick up the Delirium here. I do like Delirium for this strategy because it does seem to, at the very least, impact unique monsters in the map. So this is a challenging farm whereby I'm stuffing in Legion bosses into delirious content, and the bosses are all delirious, so presumably the assumption is they will benefit from the delirium bonuses that come. Also, there's a lot of extra delirium monsters that can drop divination cards as well. Beyond would be nice to take, but we can't really fit it in for this farm, unfortunately, with the restraint on the sextants to use. We're going to be going Eater of Worlds, of course. Get a ton of extra pack size with Eater of Worlds. Honestly, I like altars with Wandering Path quite a bit, because this is an entire 20% extra pack size. Now, I may not be able to get Shadow of Hunger, but I actually spawn more, arguably more, actual minions than usual with a strat like this, resulting in 30 Divine Orbs, potentially, if a Divine Orb altar spawns. There are a few points that are negotiable, such as, you know, Sergeants have extra rewards, or things like this over here. And there are potentially a few other ways I could improve the strat. Maybe I take some points up here through here. I don't know. You be the judge. At one point, I was substituting the Sextant out and getting just Delirium spawn chance. That is a potential way, and you would open up one additional compass. If you did that, you could take the Templar Legion chance, maybe if you wanted. I don't recommend trying to squeeze a Chayula farming into this. I thought about doing that before, but it's just not really going to work. It costs too many points and a compass to do that. So this, again, very focused on Legion and Strongbox. Brothers Gifts, Uniques, Conversion loot, all kinds of loot. Very jackpot oriented. Definitely demands a magic finding character of some sort with the cost of everything, which we should get into now. What is the cost of everything? So I'm running elevated Strongbox plus 3 Strongbox. Yes, I think it's worth paying an arm and a leg for 1 additional Strongbox per map on this strategy. Only costs about 1.4 divines anyway. I would probably pay up to 2 divines apiece for this, and then I would think about dropping down if it went up to that price or higher. The Enraged Strongbox Sextant was up to well over a Divine Orb at one point, but it began to lose favor. I think some people definitely experience losing currency doing it, especially at that price. You shouldn't be doing it if you don't have quite a bit of quantity on gear. But it dropped all the way down to around 160, 170 chaos apiece, so it's kind of at a new low. I know that doesn't sound very low, but for the value this sextant brings in today's juicing climate, it's extremely valuable and absolutely one of the very top ways of juicing up maps these days. So we're going to be taking this one, of course, and then +1 Legion, because Legion is the big focus, and then Delimira, which I mentioned before why I wanted to do that. The only one that's even remotely negotiable here is the Delimira. I mean, you have to take Corrupt Strongbox. You can't get it through the Atlas. So really, this is the only one that's negotiable. I mean, potentially Hunted Traders. I was doing a variation of the strat yesterday with unidentified pack size, where I was running unidentified maps. When I corrupted some of them, they turn unidentified, and I know what the modifiers are on them. No physical reflect, basically. And I was able to run a few of those, so yeah, slightly negotiable there. All of the sextants are priced in with 39 divines and 120 chaos. That also includes some additional chaos for the maps, because I had to roll the maps, or find the maps in this case, where I found almost 200 maps in 8 map by running my own variation of the 8 mod corrupted map sextant. That's a separate video that I came out with a little earlier this league. I usually come out with it every league. I actually cranked it up to all winged scarabs on that, and walked away with over 20 maps per map doing the cemetery farm with that strategy. So I was very, very happy about that. Very premium maps here. None of them have physical reflect. Some have beyond. Most do not. Most of them are basically 40% plus pack size. Really good maps. Again, you could run all winged scarabs if you wanted to. I would recommend doing that if you have like 100% quant character with an Orbot duo or something like that. Absolutely worth it. I tested winged scarabs myself. I'm a little bit on the fence as to whether or not it's worth it, with winged scarabs being like 70, 80 chaos a piece. That's a pretty steep price, much more expensive than last league because of the loss of the infinite sextant strategy with the winged compass, but that's all right. It could still be worth it, especially if you try to factor in tier 0 drops into the equation. It's kind of hard to do, and definitely would result in losing a lot of currency in the short run potentially, but coming out quite a bit ahead in the long run. Anyway, that is the story on how we're investing in the map, the compasses, the scarabs, and everything. One thing I want to show you comes down to here. Alright, let's take a look, because I was verifying the Apothecary cards, because some people might be wondering if we should be doing this on Crimson Temple or some other map. So the issue with Crimson Temple and Defiled Cathedral is that they are not very open maps. And if you want to use Wandering Path, Legion, or just, I mean, if you want to do Legion at all, really, especially with things like extra chance to spawn Breach, for example, you're not going to get a whole lot of value out of those things on Crimson Temple. But if we're going to take a look here in a second at the divination card drop weightings, and you're going to find that basically a Brother's Gift farm is about tied with an Apothecary farm when the Apothecary card costs around 40 divines. It looks like the Apothecary drops 7 or 8 times more rare, or that it is about 7 or 8 times more rare than the Brother's Gift, presumably, if we take a look at some of the drop weightings here. And to do that, I usually test it by looking at how many Union cards I'm getting. So Union cards are listed here. Incidentally, Gambler cards almost identical in the rates. So, you know, last league I was testing Gambler cards versus Apothecary 7 years and all that. This league I'm testing Union cards versus the Brothers Stash, which we gotta go all the way down here. And here it is, Brother Stash 57. Now, incidentally, Brother Stash apparently has an identical drop rate of 7 years bad luck. So that really helps me understand exactly how common or how rare this card ought to be in a farm, especially when trying to compare Cemetery farming versus Crimson Temple farming, which I'm quite familiar with, obviously. And then, you know, 7 years bad luck, I already know that that card is about 7 or 8 times more rare than the Apothecary. So basically, assuming that the Brother's Gift brand new card that came out this league is the exact same drop rate as the Brother's Stash, which I have every reason to believe it is, as I've now farmed dozens of Brother's Stashes and Gifts. And also, the card is identical in terms of how much currency it gives related to, you know, Exalt to Divine ratio. We already know that Exalts have the exact same drop rate as Divine Orbs in the game, so it would be really strange if the Brother's Stash did not have the exact same drop rate as the Brother's Gift. But who knows? You know, we don't know like 100% for sure. And no, I'm not going to do 1,000 cemetery maps just to test that. Shouldn't have to do that. But I kind of do hundreds of them on my own because they're fun, and I definitely like the open layout. And that's the big takeaway from this video. This is a cemetery farm that allows you allows the Brother's Gift to compete with the Apothecary farm. Something that was kind of unprecedented this league. We didn't see this coming. You know, we were kind of stuck in a point where, you know, the Crimson Prison meme, we were just stuck in the Crimson Temple because there's basically no way that you're going to find a better map that's going to yield more currency over the long run than trying to farm the Apothecary card. Just nothing could compete with it. Well, we actually have a map that can compete with it, especially now if you factor in the premium layout. With the Cemetery, has a very nice layout. It doesn't necessarily have an amazing layout with how many monsters spawn on the map, but absolutely it is, well, I mean, it's far more akin to, say, Dunes than a Cemetery is, because, or than Crimson Temple is, because of the open layout. And Legions feel pretty good. Abyss feels fine on Cemetery. You know, Abyss has issues wrapping all around Crimson Temple. Breach, I mean, forget about it on Crimson Temple. And then Expedition's actually pretty good on Crimson Temple, of course. But yeah, definitely liking Cemetery. I can get through the maps and finish the maps a lot faster too. So I get more value out of each Legion, and I'm going to finish the maps faster. And that's going to mean, that's going to give Cemetery a big edge on Defiled Cathedral or Crimson Temple or Haunted Mansion or Crimson Township. I did test Crimson Township for a hot second there. It was a pretty horrible experience, so I think I'll give up on that one. Yeah, let's cancel out of all that and get to the investment. So I have everything in the dump tab. I actually have all of the liquid there. So this is the real number right here. 55.49, except that it's not counting maps, their default value, because for some reason Excellence stopped counting maps. So I'm not going to count maps in the investment cost. I'm not going to count maps at the end, except for, you know, premium maps like influence maps, which I'm not running singular focus here. I think this is a very good league not to run singular focus because, again, with the loss of the infinite sextant strategy, Conquer influence maps are worth way more than they used to be. Even Elder influence maps are worth more. And then Moon Temple, Coward's Trial, Putrid Cloister, having a lot more longevity and value than they usually do. So we want to kind of count those maps if possible. 55.49 divines for 100 maps, a little over half a divine per map. Pretty good. This has ranged somewhere between half a divine and about 3/4 of a divine per map, depending on the price of the Enraged Sextant for the most part. Again, it being a little bit low now, and I don't know what's going to happen in the future. We've got tons of people rolling Awakened Sextants, and thanks to you guys, we have a lot more Awakened Sextants in the market now. or thanks to me. All part of the master plan. Anyway, here we go. We're kicking it off here, and we're gonna start with map number 1. No quality on the map. Most of these maps don't have quality. That's okay. Pack size is way more important than quality. And it's going to give me much needed relief to just simply farm these maps, not have to buy them through TFT. That's the way I like to do it. I don't mind that the maps don't have quality. I'm not going to substitute Mirror of Delirium for quality Sextant. Don't do that. It's absolutely not worth it. Total meme to do that. It's not that important. We get tons of Eater altars. Anyway, we're going to be cranking up the quality incrementally. I'm not going to be opening strong boxes and legions for the most part until the quality until all the altars have been found. So I'll put the currency back in here. Oh, right quick. Go back there.
I'm not up to that just yet.
And we're gearing up for map number 1. Putting all of these sextants in here. We're going to be going for an ambush. Again, this is in the description. You can look at the max roll. Now we got the max roll website that kind of gives you all the details on the farm anyway, even if you missed out or didn't quite fully understand everything that I said. I would recommend INR for this if you just wanted to throw extra INR missions on there. That'd be great. Alright, and this should be interesting. This is definitely a high stakes farm, higher stakes farm, but I think with Gilded it's going to turn out alright. Okay, my character is quite well geared now, starting to look pretty good on some of the double corruptions. I just double corrupted this chest, absolutely nasty. Lucky with this chest. Of course, percent damage is kind of the premium stat there, so got some really good stuff. I even spent some of the extra divines and redivined my bow. Gave me essentially 1 or 2% more DPS by divining it up a little bit. Going to be coming out with a video real soon on the current status of my build, because it's kind of reaching its conclusion for sure. Here we go. Now this is pretty dang rare to see the arena that close, but you know, it does happen sometimes. I kind of need a few headhunter buffs actually, or not headhunter buffs, but rather soul eater buffs, because I need to stack up some soul eater before I go kill the boss. Oh, a leather belt! Wow, that would have been so funny, if only. Okay, so you can see there's a legion near the entrance of the map. I do not have all the time in the world here to go around and try to open up the altars before I do mechanics, because the Deli Mirror is going to start expiring. This is even harder than Crimson Temple to hold the Deli Mirror back, but it can still be done. Expedition provides a huge benefit on that. Once you even begin standing around an expedition, the mirror just stops completely, and then you set the dynamite off and it pauses the mirror for more duration. Wow. For some reason it's so hard. It's just so hard not to do something really goofy like that at the start. Okay, well, don't be an idiot like me and run straight into like 17 AoE explosions. That's wise. So here's the expedition. The Deli Mirror is not moving right now. It's especially not moving because I've also triggered the Legion. So I can't pay a whole lot of attention to that. I really need to go and open up this Legion, don't I? Kind of delayed a little bit there. This is what it looks like to have very low performance. This is very low performance. I basically missed almost half of a Legion there, opening that up. Just trying to salvage the situation from the death. Dying is bad, so I recommend not dying, because it then screws up everything with the Deli Mirror timing. You lose all that time. But here we go. I will pay a little more attention to this Legion, and we'll try to get it right. I'll go ahead and trigger that Abyss while we're at it. I do like to run around a little bit. If the character is strong enough, I can actually have enough time to even run around and do a few other things. Temporal bubble there. Comping him. Basically opened all that Legion. Still getting some altars. This is actually a pretty good map on altars, to be honest. Both Legion bosses unlocked in the Deli Mirror. The Expedition's already gone up. An Abyss going around. I try not to lose time with the Abyss. I'll try to follow it where I can. Oh, almost forgot the weapon swap again for Rampage. Rampage on a Invictus weapon swap. Still doing that. then terrible Eyes of the Great Wolf. Okay, pretty typical. So already seen a gladiator body armor and Eyes of the Great Wolf. That's pretty exciting. And yeah, I think, wow, map number 1. Not all that rare. Well, I definitely don't deserve loot like this for my performance on the first map, but we still got 99 maps to go. Hopefully I will begin performing a little higher and probably won't get loot for that. Alright, you can see the Delimir has kind of been stuck here. Hasn't really had much chance to move. I'm right on the edge of it right now. I'd like... It doesn't... By the way, it doesn't really matter if your strong boxes are open in the Delimir or not. They don't seem to benefit. I already tested this extensively last league. They do not seem to benefit much, but a lot of the rare monsters that spawn, especially in Legion, I think in Breach as well, do sometimes come out delirious. So you can see I'm being, like, you might actually want to replay what I just did there. I deliberately, I very, very deliberately saved the Delimir their last split second, got back into the fog. Because I knew, you know, I've done this enough times, I knew exactly where the line of the fog was there. And I mess that up sometimes, of course. Sometimes I lose it, so it's not the end of the world. But I was able to do a lot of this here in the Deli. These rares here, I'm looking at them. I don't see any of the dark white text on them, so they're not actually delirious. I'm guessing they're not giving bonus loot because of that. The bosses always are, though. And you'll notice if you ever do Legion bosses in Delirium, they drop a lot of stuff. You can see it. I mean, you can literally see like the beams of light, expansive beams of light, way more intense whenever you are... We're talking about like them dropping, you know, half a dozen uniques at once. Yeah. Oh, almost lost the Delimir by accident there. It's good to pace myself a little bit. Divine Taint? Or Tainted Divine Teardrop. What? I have not seen one of those in ages. They are so rare. They're crazy. They're like Sacred Orb rare. They are so freaking rare. That's crazy. Not, I don't know how much it's worth. It's not worth like any crazy amount, but still an intriguing find for sure. It reminds me of the Strangle Gasp for Anoint. Crouch. I remember blowing like 50 Divine Teardrops on Calandra League trying to get a really good one. What? Way after the fact. Oh, what? Oh, that was triggered. Wow. 2 gifts, 0 stashes. What a start. What a start. There's only like map 7 here. I should be getting a brother's gift like once every 8 maps. And a stash, by the way. So I should be getting like 2 cards every 8 maps. And I'm on the lucky end of the spectrum right now with 2 gifts, 0 stashes. Raw Divine too. Raw Divines are super common on this farm though. It's not even that surprising to get a Raw Divine. I can't really think. I meant to actually talk about this in the opening of the video, that this farm is actually pretty special in terms of its propensity to just drop raw divines, because you're talking about, first of all, you're talking about Legion, which is pretty well known to be the best mechanic for raw divines for multiple reasons. The currency rewards over the heads of the sergeants and the incubators, and of course just raw drop chances. And then we have Strongbox with Enrage. It's actually pretty good at dropping raw divines too, just from the sheer amount of quantity of drops. What? It's still there. The Bist's still going. Or Blight's still going there. What in the world? Voidborn Reliquary Key, hey. Wow, that was actually a Blight reward. Oh my god, I got something out of doing a Blight? What? Log in. That is so rare, you guys have no idea. Actually getting loot from Blight monsters. Super rare. Probably one of the very worst monster types. Exalted Orb Altar. Okay. Map's already almost done, but cool, I guess. Just talking about how it's getting more exalts than Divine Orb. That's definitely coming true. The game is mad. It's very mad at me. But yeah, there's actually a lot of exalts coming out. Basic currency dupes. Now I get it. What? Oh, the map's done. This game is really mad that I dropped 2 gifts and 0 stashes. The game's so mad at me that it was like, oh yeah? Well, here's 1,000,000 exalts. Take that. Balance for the lose. Just had 30 divines off a Divine Orb Altar beforehand, but here we go, you know. It's funny. I can't believe how many exalts are still left in the bank here. Oh, wow. Duped Eldritch Chaos Orb also comes out as a red circle. Makes me laugh. I don't think there's any minions over here still. I'm pretty sure. No, oh, actually those were, yeah. Watch me drop like a brother's stash as well in this map. That would be so funny. Tilting. Legion chest. Coming through. Another reason why Legion's good. That is not the first time I've seen that happen, by the way. I've seen it happen numerous times this league. These chests are loaded with all kinds of and it is affected by map quantity modifiers, I think. It kind of acts similar to how Strongbox chest itself can drop a Brother's Gift. I've seen a Brother's Gift drop from a clasped hand in Breach too, by the way. Although that's more rare. Do you really... Oh, QLD asked earlier, do you really need Magic Find for this strat? Yes, you do. And you need a little bit of streamer RNG too, if you really want to maximize on this strat. I don't think you need to go crazy off the walls, bonkers on the Magic Find stuff though, but... Well, I mean, you probably do a little bit if you're going to use Winged Scarabs and justify that cost. That's why I said Winged Scarabs with a duo, Gilded Scarabs solo, probably going to be best. I was following... No, I think Kobe's fine. Kobe is more way more glassy than my build, and he is more quant and rarity than my build. His is far more suitable to like duo play, which he's doing, you know. I guess in his case he's doing 3-man. Yeah, Brother's Gift is on here. 5 divines. 5 divines. See, I'll show you. 5 divine orbs. 1 turn in. Get him. Why did I decide to swap off the Ming's? That's a good question. So Ming's Heart definitely gave more DPS than my current one, but I was beginning to evolve my gear, and it was creating some issues with attribute requirements. I started becoming pretty desperate for attributes. I really didn't want to have to rely too much on Sorry, on passive points for it, if possible. For a while I was, actually. And then still having it. Wow. Wow. Yesterday, Headhunter. Today, Mageblood. That's... And I only got one brother's gift on this map, not two. Only one this time. Didn't dupe it. Wait, I don't have a chance to... Please tell me I don't have a chance to dupe uniques. Okay, thank God. I was gonna be mad. Wait, what does that look like on the floor? Hold on, let me see. Let me see it. It doesn't look like anything. Oh, there we go. Wow. Well, guys, I think we have confirmed that this is a money-making strategy. It makes some money. I thought it was going to be another tier 0 unique. This is a tier 1 bow, by the way, I think. Actually, might be tier 2. That's right. I think my best strat actually is the 0 investment. That was a huge revelation for me, and I'm going to use it literally every league now. Every league. Like, it the longevity of that strat, it cannot be... What in the world? Fifth? It's the fifth one. Or... Fifth one, no, sorry, third one. Third Eyes of the Great Wolf in this farm. Why didn't this open? Can't stop dropping that thing. I don't want it unless it's 20% quant. It is 20% quant. What was the second line? Regenerate. Wait, regenerate's not that bad with a rage setup, dude. Dude, regenerate 4% life with the rage setup? Oh my god, that's probably literally best in slot for somebody who actually is doing that. What? I actually think that might literally be the best thing to do. What in the world? I didn't even know that was on there. Cause that's it. I don't know, that's almost 2 rage per second, depending on how much thing you have. Dude, somebody's gonna go crazy. Is that perfect life regen? I'm pretty sure that's perfect life regen too, the 4%. But I got 48 head on it. Finally, a scarab explosion. Way overdue for that. Way overdue for that. I've seen so many weird conversions at maps and 6 links and garbage. Finally got the scarab. This would be a great map to drop some raw divines, double basic currency dupes. Let's get some divine orbs. Or yeah, that's fine too. I mean, that's 5 divine orbs, I guess. Never at the right time, you know what I mean? Your divination dupes, drop divine orbs. Divine or basic currency dupes, drop brother's gift. Never lucky. But now I have awkwardly like 30 more mana than I need, so I don't know what to do with it. It's kind of awkward. Oh shit, I didn't finish clearing the... Oh, what? What? Too slow? Oh. How could it do that to me? That's such bullshit. I've never seen timing like that, ever. Did you see that? Ah. Oh yeah, sure, now you drop the divine orb. Last map, I had basic currency dupes. Wow. What? Oh, I had basic currency dupes this map, and it failed to dupe. Oh, okay. God. I mean, it's like I say, never lucky. This is like... So, it's just unluck after unluck after unluck. Just getting trolled to death here by the luck. Oh my god. What do I spend my currency on? It took me a while to farm up 1 passive voices, so that's the big thing I bought last time. Sold the headhunter and it made me easily afford this farm session for one thing, as well as ooh, unique verding jewel. Could be my standard drop of an unnatural instinct. What do you guys think? Unnatural instinct? Another map conversion. How unnatural is it, I wonder? Ah! Ah! He does it again! Never doubt the unnatural instinct. I just wish it was still 8 divines. Actually, I'm not unlucky there because I think that's the most expensive one. Jewel still. Verding jewel anyway. A bit off a lot right here. Wow, the deli mirror hasn't moved. Great. Love it. Red star and it's duped, so it's a div card. I could tell it was duped. I know it's duped. How do I know? Because I've played this game way too much. I could see the extra intensity of the red color. Higher saturation rate. You can see it. You can tell it's duped, or actually it's in the shading on the outside more than anything. Can you guys tell? It's duped. Can you see it? You can tell it's more intense. Brother stash? No, man. No. Don't do that to me. It's gonna be another gift. Actually, I bet it's a dragon heart. Probably duped dragon heart. Oh! We'll never find out. That was my last portal. Just kidding. That was my first portal. Survey says. What? No, you do it. God. Dang it. So unlucky. God. Not this one. Oh, man. I don't even want to look at it. Because I know it's going to be trash. It's like a 99.9% chance of being trash. It's not going to be another 20% quant. Jesus Christ. Alright. I'll go look at it. I'm literally not looking forward to this at all. Global defenses and physical damage. Probably worth less than a divine. Redeemed. From earlier. Guys, catch I hit scarab dupes and 3 seconds later. Boom. The redemption is here. Oh, that's so nice. I just wish it was more winged. Failed to dupe the winged scarab though. Oh, why? Over and over and over. Hey, that's nice. Couple winged. Where's my loot? Oh, I got a red star. Never mind. That's a brother's gift. Hey. Hey. Still behind on it though. A full gift behind. Need more gifts. Yeah, I suppose most people aren't running with something like what you have. So do I get a second Voidborn reliquary key since I reopened that? No? Wow! Unlucky. If I reopen the same strongbox, I should get 2 Voidborn reliquary keys, man. What the heck? Of course. I knew it would happen. This is the most effed up map I've ran. It's strongbox time. Hey yo, another brother's gift. That's 3 in a row in a short period of time. These brothers' gifts are getting out of control. Out of control. I'll look on the bright side, give my PC a little bit of a break on this map. Oh, wow. That is the first big one. Now I'll never know if I would have gotten better with Delirium or not. Ah. A lot of winged scarabs there. We got 6 or 7 winged scarabs off of one monster. I do have a ton of quant rarity though. I mean, that's a lot of the reason why I got good fortune. Look at the quant rarity on this map. And the conversion loot no longer accepts your magic find stats on gear, but it still accepts the magic find from the map plus the reliquary. So wandering path, tons of altars really coming out strong there. Well, we're definitely on the turnaround here. Things were kind of low, then got 3 brothers gifts and major scarab conversion. And an intuitive leap as well. Wow. Insofar as loot is concerned, we just talking about Archdem monsters. Oh, it's not Archdem anymore. It's just random conversions. Unforeseen. You never know. Some monsters are loaded with more innate quant and rarity than others, depending on the mods they have. That whole system's still in play. Some League mechanic monsters have more innate quant rarity as well. Like Legion is still pretty high, I guess. One of the only really high ones, I think. Abyss is pretty good too. When it comes to conversion loot, Legion is still the GOAT on that. Crimson Jewel, wow. Okay. I got one of the good ones here, I think. Although Blood Notch is 4, that looks like a 4 divine one. That's high roll, 57%. Woo! Good map. Not factoring in the difference of player power, anyway. So a whole bunch of... Wow, another brother's gift. You saw a whole bunch of Eldritch minions just spawn there in the back room area. Like where they're not supposed to spawn. So that was them spawning back there. What I usually see, though. We got 4 brothers gifts in a row. I was a little down in the dump for a while there the other day when I just kept getting stash after stash after stash, but now the brothers' gifts have really solidified their lead. I think we're going to go all the way with that. I can't possibly see stashes beating gifts now. That would be really weird. Probably happen anyway in this build, but... Red star down there already, wow. A welcome surprise to the opening of tonight's stream. Could it be a Mirror of Calandra? That's the only way I'm going to top off the last 2 days. It's going to have to be a mirror. Survey says, Voidborn Reliquary Key, number 3 for the session. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Oh my god, I just cannot stop dropping Exalted Orbs. So behind on Raw Divines. Where are my Raw Divines? I should be dropping like 20 to 30 at least. Hey. Oh, okay. Okay. What'd you say? My luck is radiating through the stream now. I'm not even like watching my game. Literally like just looking at chat. Oh god, report me. The only aura. And Supreme Ego, maybe. If it works. I gotta test it first. Oh, Brother's Gift number 10. Oh my god. I can't drop Brother's stashes. I don't know what's going on. Unlucky. Just kidding. Progenesis is nuts. Yeah. I think Progenesis actually is kind of the real lifesaver of all out glass cannon magic finding. One of a strong box reliably with that. I'm a big believer in Fury of Nature. Wearing it right now. It's like Blast Freeze, except even better. Oh, another Brother's Gift! Oh, the fight's still on! The stash was trying to creep up. But the gift makes another stride. I'm not gonna hit Poison Cap then, obviously. Brother's Gift. What? I didn't even see it there. I literally didn't see it sitting there. Well, the red star is hidden on the map. 12th one! Alright, that's as many or more than I should find for the entire 100 maps. For sure. These monsters have avoid poison, don't they? Yeah, avoid poison. Got him. I thought it was another Exalt. Hey, that's good. Good, good, good. The big one. Doesn't look like a big pile, but they're actually stacked up. I think it was at least 3 winged. Wow, 7 coinage out of this. There's probably at least like 3 divines worth of scarabs. Oh, perfection. That is a perfect taste of hate. Boom. That goes over here in the special pile. Taste of hate all the way down to 50 chaos, but if it's perfect, definitely worth more. Alright, time for the results. I'm looking forward to this one. I think you guys know why. It's going to skew the results a little bit. We'll take a look and see how things turn out with and without a Mageblood. In my opinion, I feel like this session came out pretty to be expected. Nothing crazy happened except for the Mageblood. If I don't count the Mageblood in my head, it didn't really seem that unordinary. I think the divination card drop rates were pretty reflective of what they should have been. So, dump tabs A, B, C, and D. We got a nice gambling session here. We're going to val all these up in a few minutes, but not quite yet. I have a whole bunch of extra items. Excellence is not counting maps at all now, and I mean, holy lord, that's a lot of maps that aren't being counted, a lot of heist materials that aren't being counted at all. But I did decide to put aside some of the higher value things that are not being detected, or in some cases, items that rolled very well that have a huge variance in value, unique items like this brass dome or this blood notch that really have to be taken in consideration, or a perfect taste of hate. Absolutely increase the value of the unique item in 2- or 3-fold or more, depending on the rolls on there. And then we have an Ironar Memory of Harvest Beast also in here. And now the Voidborn Reliquary keys do get counted. I didn't count them, but they get counted in there. Logbooks aren't going to be counted. And we were running Expedition. Quite a few expeditions spawned, so number of logbooks. And one of the real interesting ones are the Eyes of the Great Wolf. I did not count these. In the end, I didn't count these at all. So I have a few here that are worth 1 or 2 divines maybe. But I have one extremely expensive Eyes of the Great Wolf, a 20% quant baseline. That just came up a second ago. It's like 38, 39 divines. That's with a junky second mod. This is a regen mod, so this is going to synergize with Calm Spirit, Rage, Regen. I don't know what it's worth. It's one of a kind. It doesn't actually exist on trade currently. So truly, I mean, it's worth a lot, but I'm just not going to count this. I suppose I'll count it for looking at the Mageblood tally, but other than that, when we sub out the Mageblood, I'm going to sub out this because it's definitely a big outlier. You're not going to see something like this in 100 maps on average even. So a very lucky find. All right, let's go down to excellence here. Take another snapshot. I think I know what we see here. Obviously, we're going to see Mageblood on top. Okay, it's a little bit less because I have 3 to 1 a bunch of items there. All right. I think the overlay showed earlier on, and it holds 2 here. We got 12 Brothers Gifts. Actually, let's just go down the top. We got the Mageblood. That's 220 divines. 12 Brothers Gifts. Quite a bit. Quite good there. 13 Divine Orbs. I think that number is very low, as a matter of fact. 295 sextants. Union cards are here. I did manually go in and adjust the price range. It's only 1 chaos apiece there. Normally I don't even pick these up, but I save time not picking them up too. 3 Voidborn Reliquary keys there. 417 stack decks. We'll be gambling those. 38 Mariketh emblems. Maybe I should have actually checked the price of Mariketh, or I mean emblem sets to be sold on TFT. I decided not to do that. So we'll just leave it there. 10 Brothers stashes, so 3 more gifts and stashes. Wow. Lucky. 1 Unnatural Instinct, 42 Exalted Orbs. This is in large part due to an Exalted Orb altar. I forgot how many I got on that altar. It was around 20. It's somewhere between 20 and 25, I think. But yeah. A bunch of Ventor's Gambles, which will 3 to 1 a little later on. And everything just kind of falls off from there. Yeah, so the big things are all right here. For sure. It says 378.63. I will go ahead and add 40 for the Eyes of the Great Wolf. The multiple ones, actually. And the things that are pretty well determined to show up in large part is this 13.44 Divine Texture. That's all the Conquer Influence maps, Shaper Influence maps, the perfect roll differentials on some of the uniques and things like that. So that's where that number comes from. So this is going to be, first we're just going to look at the actual like capped out maximum currency that I personally earned in this particular session. And then we'll kind of look at more normalized stuff in a moment here. So once I do the subtraction, I get 376.58 divines net profit. That is, of course, 3.7, I guess 7 divines per map. And it took about 10 hours to do this whole thing. So me personally, on this 100 map set, which was absolutely luckier than average, 37 divines an hour. That's, you know, definitely not going to happen most of the time. Probably 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a lower number than this. So, you know, I had a session kind of like this when I was doing the 1,000 Crimson Temple runs, 100 at a time. I had a couple sessions where I did get this kind of result on them. So it's going to happen occasionally. But that's not really reflective of what we're going to normally see. So let's kind of do it all over again here. And we're going to look at how I performed, not counting the Mageblood and not counting the extraordinarily valuable Eyes of the Great Wolf. So in this case, we're going to take 378.63 plus 13.44 and not put an additional 40 on, and then we're going to minus 220 because the Mageblood's worth about 220. And this is what I made. This is more indicative of what I made without any kind of massive jackpot drops. Okay, so take this number minus 55.49, and this is going to be a net. Alright, and that's going to come out to, yeah, 1.1. So I guess I can do this map. A little over 1 divine per map on average. It's always good to see over 1 divine per map on average gained. That's definitely going to be good, favorable. Especially if you're counting per map. And we're stuffing a lot of things in the map. And then divided by 10 puts me at around 11.6 divines. That sounds alright. I would expect it to be a little bit higher, maybe a little bit. But I think it's because I'm spending a lot of time in the maps. I don't usually take 10 hours to do 100 maps, whatever farm I'm doing. So it's going to be pretty juicy, thick map sessions. And it's true, you know, that's part of the price of paying to put in all these extra mechanics and kind of focus more on just making profit so much as getting in and out of the map ASAP to get as much per hour as you can. And that's okay. So I made there. All right, so that is definitely more reflective of what you might normally see. Now, here is going to be some interesting information. We got 1,014 union cards. So when I take this number divided by 88, this is how many brothers stashes and brothers gifts I should get on average. 11.5. Well, I got 12 gifts and I got 10 brothers stashes. So I am extremely close to the margin of error there. If I had gotten 11 stashes, I mean, that would have just been perfect. Almost perfect. I mean, it's basically exactly what I would expect. And this rings true to the off-stream farms. Of course, sometimes I have a dry session and I get like nothing. I'll do like 32 maps, get 0 brothers gifts. That happens. You know, it happens to you probably if you're sitting there with a frown on your face looking at these results. I mean, why is this happening to him, not to me? Happens to me too sometimes. But today things came out pretty good, or pretty not, you know, counting looking at the brothers gifts ratio, it wasn't anything outlandish, certainly. So I would normally go in and kind of look at the new numbers normalized if they were far off, but they're almost exactly right. So there's no reason to do that. I mean, this basically pretty reflective of kind of the baseline expectation, not counting crazy jackpot drops. So kind of looking at a baseline of 10 divines an hour at like the low end for me, at least for me on this farm here. And that's with 48% increased quantity on gear. 220, it was 221% increased quantum or rarity on gear as well. So one quick look through here. You can see all the dump tabs, all there. Just kind of check everything. Hopefully you see no crazy outliers. But yeah, that's it for that. Next, we're going to do a gambling portion, and that's going to be exciting because quite a few stacked decks, quite a few Val Orbs, and 3 Voidborn Reliquary Keys. Maybe something cool will happen. Let's find out. Oh no, tornado's going to sweep up all my cards. Ah! That'd be so funny. Imagine a tornado goes over a div card and it just disappears. That would so suck. Oh god. Okay, here it is. I got trolled by the game. The best div card I've dropped this league is Brother's Gift. Now I got another one. And I can't seem to get away from this card. But hey, thanks to that card, I made some currency on this. A little bit. Just a little bit. Marginally ahead. Alright, so I already did the Ventor's Gambles. The 3-to-1 on that, and nothing. Got nothing from that, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and deposit all these. If they are gamble, they will not count towards the final results for anything. Next is one of my favorite things to do. I like the Val orbing of all of these items. It so happens that a lot of these uniques, basically this is an entire selection of uniques that are not quite worth selling. Like they're almost expensive enough to sell, but they're not really worth messing with in trade unless you hit a corruption, which just skyrockets their value in some cases. Last time I did this, I got a heat shiver with reservation. It was 14 divines suddenly. So, whoa. We're gonna see what happens on this. Of course, I'm still waiting for my first elemental weakness, Sedima's Touch of the League. Hoping to see that happen. +1 Daraso's Defiance would be quite nice as well. And some of the items in here, I don't even really know if there's a corruption that even exists that will make it worth a lot. But anyway, everything's corrupted. This is actually a good outcome on this because you turn 5 of these in like this, and you get one back that's clean, uncorrupted. So actually, that's a good outcome for that one. Okay, let's see. We're gonna type implicit. Only things with implicits. That's a bad sign. Nothing hit at all in the front end of this. Wow. Well, I made money doing this. I'm pretty sure I just made money doing this. 6 divines. From 30 chaos to 6 divines. That's a winner. Big winner there. This one. Well, okay. I guess it's 100 chaos maybe. Shavs. Ooh. Wow. Nobody wants Wind Viper though. Probably not a big winner, but actually that is a really high flat fire roll. I don't think it matters. Minion gems, nope. Socketed AoE Darasos? Maybe. Yeah, okay. 1 divine at least on top. Now, Ralakash's Impatience, I'm not really sure on this one. I'm guessing, yeah, not really anything. +2 duration? No? Okay. Max life Darasos? No, I don't think so. Yeah. Oh, this is a local mod, I guess. Yeah. Nah. Oh, enfeeble. I still got one more of these to look at. 10% enfeeble. Well, actually, it's like 40 chaos, I guess. Oh, we got a heat shiver. War cry. No, that's nothing. Shavs. Nope. Oh. +1 socketed gems. Yeah. Okay. 40 chaos. A little bit of a win. I'm pretty sure this is not anything, but just double check. Nope. Golhelm. Nope. Alright, this could be a big one. Elemental weakness. Elemental weakness. Please be elemental weakness. Projectile gems. Nope. Well, this is the big one here. This one made it all worth it right here. Very cool. Alright, so these are all the ones that are not just going to get straight up vendored instantly. Cool. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. Let's see now. The last thing we got to do is something that I never succeed at. This has never been worth it for me to do. But I don't think I've ever sold a single foiled item ever doing this. But we'll do that. I've actually seen this one before. Yeah. Okay. Next one, here we go. This is for you guys. I just do this for the lulz. That's funny. I have actually seen this one before. But I don't remember it selling for anything great because nobody cares about this shield anymore. But well. It's a golden Aegis Aurora. I mean, it's not really a win. I think it probably just makes my money back, maybe. At best case scenario. Okay. Sinvict. Well, not like this. Oh yeah. Who makes Sinvictus? Oh man, I should crucible this up in style. Replace mine. Actually use this item. Oh man, it's even more marine green than it was already. Okay. No, actually, this was kind of a pain in the butt to get these two on here, so I never have to deal with it again. But actually, right now, I don't have to deal with it because I switched my my suffix here. Incidentally, one of the next videos I'm going to make will be featuring the sort of final version of this build, which I'm kind of reaching the end. The next upgrade will probably be a mirror tier bow if I do it, but I think I might not actually get a mirror tier bow for this build. I have something else in mind moving forward. So we're basically reaching the very end stretch of this build, so I would like to, upon many requests especially, to come out with a video deep dive on this build, how it's evolved, the Poison Tornado Shot build, Magic Vine build. Gone over pretty well, performed very well in this session, which I guess kind of leads us into the final thoughts. So like I just said, performed really well in this session. I think a lot of people keep asking me, lightning arrow versus tornado shot versus, poison tornado shot, cold conversion tornado shot. I think at this gear threshold, poison tornado shots kind of ran its course. I'm quite certain I would get a higher performance out of this build at this gear threshold if I went, more conventional tornado shot build. As far as lightning arrow, I'm not sure. I'm thinking about actually rolling a lightning arrow next because I want to see for myself what it's like with the Vengeance Cascade and the Crucible trees and all that. Let's see. Well, as far as the farm is concerned, I'm a big fan. I think it's cool. It's a little bit fresh, new take on it, especially Expedition. The one big thing I really love about this farm, as far as like trying to maintain a Delirium Orb or Delirium Mirror in Cemetery, which is normally almost impossible. It helps that we get a full 12 seconds before it even starts moving from these. But really, the real MVP here is Expedition, which has a 64% chance to spawn. Expedition. If I'm running to find the map boss, I stop at the Expedition on the way. I sit there, put the dynamites down, trigger them, start setting them off, and I swear that's giving me at least like an extra 20 or 30 seconds of time before the Delirium Mirror starts moving. It's really quite nice. You can kind of maneuver around with Legions, Breaches, and Abysses too to make that work, but depends on the layout of the cemetery. Some of them are kind of weird. Some of them are more straightforward. I like the cemetery map. There's a bit of RNG in there. It's fun. Definitely great to get out of the Crimson Prison for a while. But I kind of want to test this strategy on Crimson Temple as well. Or maybe Defile Cathedral. I don't know exactly what the most lucrative strategy is going to be this league, but Strongbox is way high on the list. And Wandering Path, Strongbox, and Legion, especially on an open map, is gonna be a real winner this league. So long as the Apothecary card value stays around 40 divines or close to it, I think Cemetery is probably going to be the best map. Especially considering how we can do a strat like this much more easily and efficiently on Cemetery than we can on Defile Cathedral or Crimson Temple or what have you. Yeah, so I think in my shoes, I would prefer to probably stick with Cemetery if I wasn't testing a lot of different things for you guys. You have to see that. So let me know in the comments section what you think the best map is. If you think there's ways to improve this strategy, I'm all ears. In case it wasn't clear already for you, this is a magic finding strategy. There's no way you would want to run this strategy sacrificing not one but two of your Scarab slots for raw drops if you weren't running some form of magic find. The reliquary Scarabs is benefiting off of your rarity, the divination Scarabs benefiting off of your quantity, well, the reliquary Scarab benefiting from both actually, and it helps with the conversion loot as well. So yeah, at least put on like a gold worm and a Ventor's Gamble. It's bare minimum. Put those two things on, and you can kind of make the strategy work to your favor. But if you're trying to do this, you're paying full price for these compasses and scarabs. Not going to get a great amount of value out of it, I'm afraid, if you have 0 magic find on. So do keep that in mind. Again, great strategy for winged duos with an Aurabot, with a super high quant magic finder with Aurabot. Absolutely. Definitely would recommend this with a winged scarab strategy. It could be a lot of fun. So try it out. One last thing, big announcement before we end the video. It so happens that I have made my way to a podcast coming near you. The Faded Connections has invited me to come on their podcast. At the time of releasing this video, it should be tomorrow, so about 24 hours after the release of this video. Hope you guys are excited to see me. I'm really happy I'm finally getting on a podcast. We're going to talk about a great many things, probably Magic Find at some point. Curious to know what you guys would like to see as far as topics on that. I know many of you are going to be excited in the chat to hear that. I'm going to be looking a lot at the Discord in the next 48 hours to see some comments, kind of make a separate channel, get some feedback on that. So I hope it goes well. I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope to see you there in the live stream for that, saying hi and whatnot. But anyway, that's going to be the focus, obviously, for the next few days. And then we can get back to more farming, more grinding, maybe build switching, build deep diving, that sort of thing, all coming in the next week. Look forward to all that. That's it for me on this video. It was fun. It was a damn good session, and I got a lot of currency out of it, so I got a lot of new things I can play around with now. Looking forward to it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.